Hi everybody, and welcome back to my channel. My name's Rebecca of Artistrebeccals, and this is the channel where we have fun with art. Today we're going to be taking a look at what I keep in my Sendak Peg and Awl Mini Artist Roll in April 2025. Let's go. Okay guys, so we're gearing up to almost a year. This is almost a year old. I got it in about June or July of 2024. And I had been after it for a long time and was not able to order from America. I certainly wouldn't be able to do it now. But a company in France, I have a video about it that tells you all about it on my channel. I'll link it, but there's a company in France, Les Comptoirs Américains, that as of this date did have some still available in this colour, no other colour. But they could be, by the time this video goes up, they could have all gone. And so this is the mini one. I much prefer the mini one because it's more manageable. So I've gone through a lot of changes with this, kind of getting used to what fits and what doesn't. Sometimes, I mean, it's only recently I've actually made it more, it closes better now, because before it was not closing properly because the items are too bulky, but it stands up. And so there are 2 pockets at the back, and I have fitted 2 water brushes in at the back. Now, I had them on the inside before, and that's what was making it difficult to roll up. So it's a buckle that you just undo, and it unrolls. Just look at that. And it's the perfect size for me. The mini versions are perfect for traveling and for children. And it comes with this, which is the selling point for me, the added little attachment kind of pencil case zipper pouch. And in here, which we'll do first, I've put my art graph, water soluble. I've got a video on my channel about it. It's a water soluble graphite. It's a nice neat tin. I've got my Hovel pencil sharpener. Love this. There have been 2 brilliant purchases that will last a lifetime that I don't regret. The Peg and Awl Sendak Mini Roll and this Maker's Cabinet Hovel brass sharpener. The blades last a while and they're quite cheap to buy. It's like a pack of 10 or 12 for just under 3 or 4 euros, the same in sterling. And it's brilliant, very portable, and it's made of brass. So I can drop it as many times as I like and it doesn't get damaged. I have some replacement leads in 2B. I have a small Staedtler Mars plastic eraser. I have got the kind of rectangular Tombow mini eraser. I've got the round one in here as well. So I've got the 2 versions. But I've also, at the moment, just dislodging, I have got my kind of second attempt at dealing with a putty eraser. Now, I use this mainly when I'm doing my original artwork for sale. And talking about that, I do have artwork for sale, and the links will be in the description below this video. Now, here I have, yes, I put tape over here. I think, what is this? I had a lead break off or something. I'm going to get rid of that because it's dirty and everything, but I've put washi tape. These are the refillable blades. They come in this really small kind of papery cardboard tub well, actually now they've updated the packaging. And so this is the original packaging that I've kept and refill because they no longer come in this. Well, I don't think they did. From Jackson's Art I got them, I think. And it didn't come in these little containers. They were kind of just wrapped in wax paper. So this is easier for me to have them and safer because they are very sharp. So they're in this little container. This is the second Tombow eraser pen. It is the Mono Zero. Both of them are Mono Zero, I think, yeah. But in round and in oblong. So there's those two there. And I use this more for the eyes of the birds and if I'm doing fur detail and things like that. And then, what else is in here? I think I've got more blades for the oval. Yeah, another pack here. So I put that there. And then I've got, it keeps coming, another pack of spare blades. These are HB and they're for my 3mm mechanical pencil. The others actually are what I use mainly, the 2B. But the 2Bs are really much more expensive and far harder to get hold of. But I much prefer the 2B. And that's the end. That's all that's in that little pouch. So I was quite pleased with that. But I can fit so much in there. Now getting it all back in is a challenge. Because it has to be just in the right place. The plastic tab on this putty eraser can be a little bit annoying. But I tend to put the bulky things back in first. And I always make sure the blade of this oval, I loosen this and turn it over and make sure the blade is fallen back in a bit. We're going to move things down a bit and just slide it back in facing long ways. And then it's a question of just fitting these strategically in, pushing things about a bit. I've seen that, because I did used to have a tiny bottle of ink in here, but it seemed a waste of time. I would like a smaller container to put my putty eraser in, and maybe also hold the loose blades so that it would just be more space saving. So then this flap opens up and I've got this microfiber cloth for cleaning my water brushes. And I get about 4 from one big cloth. I just cut them into 4s, which means when this is in the washing machine, I've got others that I can replace. So I'll put that to one side. And I've got this Herbine ink refillable marker pen, and in there you can see it's a really bad nib, but it's a fibre nib thing, fibre tipped, and it's supposed to be for calligraphy, but I use it for my scapigliatas, and again I've done a video about it on my channel. And it's got my homemade watercolour ink using the Holbein watercolour ink, well, watercolour paints that I've turned into an ink. Let me know if you'd like to see on my channel me making watercolour ink using the Holbein watercolours. And because I'm selling my original artworks, I needed light fast acrylic paint pens in black and white for highlights and eye details and fur details and things like that. So though I'm not keen on, they're very glossy, these, and I don't like it, they are the ones that were recommended all over the place as being known to be light fast, whereas Posca are not. So I've had to go with these. I use them very limitedly, but they're there for when I need them. Then this is my basic mechanical pencil. It's a Mitsubishi Uni, and it's a 0.3 millimeter, and I love it. And it's got a little gauge, and the gauge has gone wrong at the minute because I'm actually on a 2B at the minute. I think it's confused me. I don't know now. It could be HB. I'm hoping it's a 2B in here. And so you have the eraser, you know, as you normally do, at the top, and you pull it all out to refill it. So that goes there. In the same little pocket or slot is the blending stump, not a tortillion. I talk about that more on my channel. Next to that is a mini, well, it's shortened, a Blackwing 602 pencil. The eraser has fallen out of it. That's the thing about Blackwings I've discovered. If you actually dare to use the eraser and you go to put it back, the clamps, after a while of use, actually get loose, and they don't want to, the eraser doesn't want to stay actually back in. So inevitably it's fallen out somewhere, and I don't know where. And so at some point I might bother to, I bought this, the little, before I forget, these tip protectors. They're silicone. These were cheaper than the, well, I mean, I'm going to upgrade them to the Viaco on Art Miranda. Those spiral metal tubes I'm going to be getting. But in the meantime, these did well from Amazon. And it's just to protect the tips. But yes, the problem I have is the erasers. If you do use them, and I still had quite a bit left, but because it was going shorter, the shorter it goes, the more it obviously falls out. So it could be at the bottom, but I've been pushing around and I can't feel it actually in here. So I will put it back here. Then in a slot on its own is my TWSBI, very chunky TWSBI Eco. And I got this, I'm sure I've done a video about it, because it's replaced my Lamy Safari pens, simply because it's physically easier, because it's a piston or syringe refill. You twist, it's like a syringe, you twist this, and my hands are kept cleaner. And so with the, what do you call them? The other pens had converters, I think they're called, which were these very fiddly small syringe kind of, it's like an ink cartridge with a twist end, and they're so small and fiddly, and you have to really get straight into that bottle of ink. Whereas with this, the nib can go straight in, and I can just twist up here. I'm kept cleaner, and the pen is kept cleaner, and there's less hand strain for me. But it is bulky. So it's got my permanent ink in by Roy Hicklinger, and again, it's on my channel, the ink that I use. And then here is the black version. So we've got the black and the white. The one for all 2mm they are, acrylic pens. And they both won't fit in together, so I have them in separate areas. Then in this last slot, if it comes out, is you can push up from the bottom, the rainbow pencil, for when I want to do quick sketches. I wish they were more vibrant because the colours come out a little bit too dirty dull. They're not clean and vibrant. but it's fun to have it. And then at the back, you've got these two pockets. We have got these pencils. Now, I've said in my previous video about the Sendak Roll, I have made my own stiffener because you can buy for $11 each. I think they're made of cork or something, but they're solid stiffeners that support and make it more rigid for putting into your Sendak Roll. Ideally, I really think they should come with at least one so that you can test whether you want it or not. It's quite expensive, but I've made my own version by I had sample watercolor paper, which was really, really thick. It was like 600 GSM, so I cut it down and kept gluing them all together so that it was really solid thick, and then pushed it in so that I've got more support there. And so far it is working. And I've got only my very, very best pencils in here, which are completely light fast. And so I'm starting to get a bit of a collection of the Caran d'Ache Museum watercolor pencils. And so I have 5 at the moment. I'm not really big on pencils. I much prefer my Holbein watercolors, but I've got them in brown ochre, the yellow, the black, the white, and cinnamon. And they stay, and they haven't broken. I did have, you've seen I've changed, if you look at my other videos, with the Sendak Roll, I had my Conte in here. They kept breaking because they're so delicate, and I wasn't actually using them that often from here. I use it more for watercolors. So when I'm in the mood to do Conte, I've got my wooden drawers by Meedon, but I've put my Conte into a separate section, and so I feel they're more protected now. So that's that section. This section, we have got my art toolkit little pocket palette. It's not a pocket palette. I don't think it is. It could be a pocket. Again, we get confused. They have a folio, a demi, and a pocket. And for me, the names have been confused. So this is not the smallest. I think they call this the pocket. That's why I get confused, because the smallest one should be called the pocket in my mind. But anyway, let's not get into the semantics. It's basically a metal small palette, and in here it's magnetic. The bottom of it, underneath these little dishes, which are metal, the base is magnetic. So the little dishes will stick in. Now, it's not that solid, the magnet, because I've had some of these when I've refilled them and they've been damp still and I've shut the lid. When I've opened it, they've come out. And so it's been a little bit fiddly to get them back in. But I much prefer this setup. So I've got one big dish here for mixing, the lid for mixing, because you can buy these little dishes, I'll call them, individually. So there's lots of different sizes that you can choose from. So you've got these 2 sizes, these little rectangles. You've got this huge rectangle. You can get a big square, and then you can buy these mini small squares. And I prefer these small squares for the middle, so that it makes me feel my paint will last longer. Also, it gives me more space for more colours, because I use about 18 colours total, that's it, that I will mix from. And then I have these 2 for the greens, and a green here, so it's like 3 different greens that I can then mix with the different yellows, like the sienna and the ochre, plus the light and dark yellows. I'm very heavy on green. So this is ultimately my palette at the minute. I haven't cleaned it out and used oil yet. I've just kept refilling it. So I keep it in this little bag that it comes with, and it slots back onto here, there. So that's all the inside. And then the back, you have these two pockets at the back. And as I say, I have got, we turn it over, we have got not much in the back because it stops, it just makes it harder for, you know, rolling it shut. I've just got a pair of kid scissors in there in case I have an emergency. I need to just cut something. It's just always safe to have some scissors. And then in this are the two water brushes. And these are the generic brands from Amazon that you got a pack of 6 different sized brushes. As in sizes with the brush, you've either got a wide flat or you've got a fat round, you know, things like that. And so I just have 2 with me, a thin kind of flat and a fat. And that is that, guys. And it's finally closing properly now. It's taken almost a year, which it will when you first get yours, no matter the size, though I am thinking those the bigger versions, I'm so pleased I did not get it because I see everybody jamming them full of pencils and it is so bulky when it is shut. It is very difficult to put it in a bag and heavy. So I would rather 2 small ones and separate my materials. So I would put some non-water soluble pencils in the second one and have just watercolor in one, probably pens, you know, in another. And it's just easier. But at the moment, one is far sufficient for me because I don't like to overfill. I mean, it's quite full as it is, but I've got a gap here. And as I say, sometimes I could get away with the mechanical pencil and the blending stick fit into one little slot. So it depends on what your materials are. And then this just lies across the top and it helps to protect my pencil leads. And as I say, it's for cleaning my brush. So everything is really neat and tidy. You fold the flap down, you then bring this over and you can roll it. And the tidy up time is actually really so much quicker than all the other stuff I had before. And the things I reach for the most are all contained within this roll. And it makes my life so much easier and quicker to access. And I know that things are being looked after as well, however much I kind of squash everything in. And you just have to then tuck it down here and tuck it up like that, just to keep everything like that. And there you are. It's closed, neat and tidy. And that is that, guys. So I hope you found this interesting. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, share my video, give me a comment, and I'm going to catch you on the next video really soon. And don't forget to subscribe. Completely free to subscribe to my channel. And when you do, you'll be notified of my next video. It also shows YouTube that you like and enjoy my content and they'll promote it to more people. Thank you. Bye.